Imagine hearing this headline for the first time: a single dad bought a cabin for just $1, then refused millions to keep what was buried under the floor. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me till the end, because this story will not only surprise you, it will touch your heart in a way you never expected. And if it moves you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, because stories like this deserve to be shared with the world. It all began with Daniel, a single father in his late 30s, whose entire world revolved around his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Life hadn't been kind to Daniel. He had lost his wife to illness just 3 years earlier, and ever since, he had been doing his best to keep life stable for his little girl. He worked long shifts at a local factory, barely earning enough to pay rent on their cramped apartment. But despite his struggles, Daniel made sure Lily never felt unloved. Every night, he tucked her into bed with a story, sometimes making them up on the spot, always ending with the same words: "No matter what happens, you'll always be my treasure." One evening, while scrolling through local property listings on his old laptop, Daniel stumbled across something strange: an abandoned cabin in the woods listed for just $1. At first, he thought it was a scam. Who in their right mind would sell a house, even a broken-down cabin, for a single dollar? But curiosity tugged at him. Something in him whispered that maybe, just maybe, this was the fresh start he and Lily needed. The next morning, he drove out to the location. The cabin was old, weather-beaten, its wooden boards cracked and faded from decades of neglect. But there was a certain quiet charm about it. The forest surrounding it was peaceful, the kind of place where a little girl could laugh and play freely, far away from the noise and chaos of the city. The realtor, an older man who seemed eager to get rid of the property, simply handed Daniel the papers after he paid $1 single. Just like that, Daniel owned a cabin. At first, the place was almost unlivable. The roof leaked, the windows rattled in the wind, and the floor creaked with every step. But Daniel wasn't the kind to give up easily. Every evening after work, he brought Lily to the cabin, and together they cleaned, painted, and repaired what they could. Lily loved it. She said it felt like an adventure, like they were building their own secret world. Then, one night, as Daniel was replacing some old boards on the floor, he noticed something odd. Beneath the wood, there was a hollow sound. He pried it open carefully, and what he found left him frozen in shock. Underneath the floorboards was an old, locked chest. His hands trembled as he pulled it out. Lily's eyes grew wide with excitement. "Daddy, it's like a treasure chest," she whispered. The lock was rusted, but Daniel managed to break it open with an old hammer. Inside were stacks of old letters, photographs, and bundles of cash, tens of thousands, maybe even more. But that wasn't all. There were also war medals, a diary, and even deeds to land that had belonged to a family long forgotten. At first, Daniel thought about calling the authorities, but as he began reading the letters, he realized this wasn't just money. This was history. It told the story of a soldier who had built this cabin before going off to war, writing letters to his young wife, promising he would return. The photographs showed their love, their dreams, and the life they had planned together. But the final letters were heartbreaking. The soldier never came back. His wife had hidden their savings and memories under the floor, waiting for him, but she too had passed away alone. The cabin had simply been abandoned, left behind as a graveyard of love and loss. Daniel couldn't hold back tears as he read those letters aloud to Lily. And his daughter, though young, looked up at him with innocent wisdom and said, "Daddy, maybe we're supposed to take care of it for them. Maybe that's why we found it." Word spread quickly once people learned about the discovery. Journalists, developers, and even collectors began showing up, offering Daniel millions for the cabin and its hidden fortune. Some said he could finally give Lily the life she deserved: new house, private schools, everything money could buy. But when Daniel looked at his daughter playing on the porch, laughing the way he hadn't seen her laugh since her mother's death, he knew the truth. No amount of money could replace what this cabin had given them. A home, a story, a connection to something bigger than themselves. So, when a man in a suit placed a contract in front of him, offering a life-changing sum, Daniel simply shook his head. "This isn't for sale," he said quietly. "This cabin belongs to love. And love isn't something you sell." Life didn't magically become easy after that decision. Daniel still worked hard, and there were still struggles. But the cabin became their sanctuary. Together, he and Lily restored it with their own hands, keeping the letters and photographs safe, telling the soldier's story to visitors who came with respect. The cabin became a place where people came to remember that money isn't everything, love, history, and family matter far more. And in that quiet cabin in the woods, Lily grew up with laughter in her heart, surrounded not by riches of gold, but by the richness of love. Daniel may have refused millions, but in return, he and his daughter found something priceless. A home filled with meaning, and a bond stronger than anything.